questions, you want to sit down. So our next speaker is a good friend of the state, Michael Wolf. And the thing we did this way, using the Agile Mindset on the Agile Mindset, right?
So you get that? Say it. I renamed it for this talk.
Oh, okay. Then I got the wrong one. Anyway, welcome, Michael.
Yes. So I've been coming to these since they were in Interbay and Fremont. So thanks for having me. I'm sure I'm going to be 5 minutes because this is an Ignite talk that auto advances. This is me. So I put this talk together for Beyond Agile. I've been a member of Beyond Agile for a while, showing up for about 10 years, been on the program committee for a couple years. And just the name asked, what is Beyond Agile? So I've been wondering about that. I thought maybe I could use Agile to figure out what's beyond Agile. At its core, Agile is an inspect, adapt. We find out what's up either with the process or the product, and we loop and we iterate that. There's a lot of things that stand up, but once I got meta here, I decided that if I'm going to use Agile for Agile, I could probably use that. And I don't know how many folks know about that. It's turtles all the way down. And the Earth is actually on the back of a turtle, and what's that on the back of? It's on the back of another turtle. And so as I was putting this talk together, I kind of got too meta with myself. Like, well, where is that going to lead? Because I actually started this talk saying that Agile is dead. Let's stop using Agile. A friend of mine had advocated that it's gotten to be a stale term. But in using Agile on itself, I got to some other things. A friend of mine who does fruit tree pruning talks about the same kinds of things that I do. We get together and we talk about her fruit trees and my Scrum teams. There's a whole systems thinking that could maybe be on Agile. But it gives us some practices, like the wax on, the wax off. We stand up every day, we do a retrospective every week, we do a product demo every week. We do some things, and it's really the wax on, wax off from the Karate Kid. If we practice these things enough, I'm going to get good at it. But what I realized as I was using Agile to understand Agile is it's all about framing. And that I got better as a software developer because I knew some practices and some tools within that. And then I get better as a Scrum Master, but it was all within that frame. And so it's what frame you're involved in. Here's a great example. Are we, as a country, trying to figure out for the last 20 years whether it's a healthcare business, or a healthcare business? Because until we decide what frame we're in, it's blue versus red, me versus you. And are we going for longevity, empathy, or dollars? And until we address that question, we don't know where we're going, and it's just, it's baffled. It's been happening for many, many years, but I think that we need to fundamentally address that before we can apply Agile to the software or the healthcare system. Mathematicians have a thing called a hill climbing algorithm that if you get incrementally better, you can keep getting incrementally better, you can keep getting incrementally better. And you're a maximum when there is no adjoining space that's better than you are. But we know from going down in a valley into another mountain that sometimes you have to go down to get higher. There's a J curve in some books lately that when you learn a new skill, it seems to get worse, but it's actually on its way to getting better. What else is beyond Agile? I thought about design thinking. I was trained as a software developer. I was trained as a physicist, so engineering and science were my background. I know about inductive and deductive reasoning. But designers, folks that come up with an iPad that say, hey, let's walk around with music in our ears. Let's walk around with an internet device. They use, it's right on the tip of my tongue. They think differently. Abductive reasoning. They imagine a future and then back into that. I didn't know about abductive reasoning. I still can't exactly explain it, but I do know that it's not what I learned in engineering school. It's not what I learned in science. And so maybe there's something there. Last example here, my wife's business, she calls herself a psychic, even though she's very scientific. She has clients come in, and she's using actually a mix of tools. You could call it energy tools because I can read the energy when I come in the room, or somebody threw some energy at me. What she's getting is she's mixing sort of science and some naturopath, some meditation kinds of thinking. We know that the way you use your brain affects your mood and how you think about things. But she's getting some things that are not scientifically provable, but she's getting some results with people that have gotten off of drugs. Anyway, it's a different framework for thinking about the kinds of things that psychotherapy or meditation or other kinds of interventions. I've thrown a bunch of sound bites at you, just a way to get you thinking about some things. People are hacking all kinds of other things. They're hacking permaculture, they're housing, intentional communities and co-housing. The classroom is becoming flipped. Read the lecture and then we'll come in and talk about it. Podcasts are a whole new thing today, just like radio was before that and TV was before that. Whole different kind of thing. Governance, Zappos is using holacracy. It's a different way to think about things. The whole sharing economy. But the ultimate hack is your life. What I'd invite you to do is to be thinking about what is it you want to be hacking. Maybe you could use the Agile inspect and adapt on it. And what I came to, even though I wrote this talk to say I want to kill Agile because there's nothing beyond Agile, it's dead. Turns out that what's beyond Agile is Agile. It's not what I set out to prove with this talk, but it's what I came to the end of. And so thanks.